How's it going, everybody? It is myself, Heather Kusiba, in the East Seattle area, and we have Cassie Webb with Elevate over in the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And for today and pretty much the rest of the month, we are going to be talking about like some fun little Halloween themed chats that we thought would be a good time to kind of just have fun this time of year. But today we're going to talk about some of the like fun or scary home features that we've seen. As you can imagine, we see a lot in real estate, a lot of homes. And sometimes there's buildings that just are like, who thought of that? Why? What happened? Or just like funny things people have done to the homes over the years. So Cassie, let's start with you and some of your stories.
Here's the problem. I should have like 1,000 of these stories, right? Because I've been doing this for like ever. But the problem is, like, now I've seen so many crazy things that I just like almost don't notice them. I think.
That's totally fair, actually. When you see enough weird things, it's almost normal.
I get upset because like a lot of what I've seen is like really like especially older like historic type homes or even houses built kind of in like the the 50s, kind of 40s 50s. We don't have a ton of them, but the like the floor plans and kind of like the built-ins and things like that are can be really crazy. And I wish like if I could go back in time, and I keep saying I'm going to start and then I don't, but like if I could take pictures of just all of the things that I've seen, it would be, I could literally publish a book. But for today, the one that comes to mind the most though is I was going down this, I was showing a house at night because first of all, we show houses at night sometimes, and two, I don't know how it is there actually, but here during the winter time, it gets dark as early as like 5:30. So it's like you can't not show houses after 5, and you have to be mindful, make sure it's someone you know and trust at that point. You don't want to, I try not to go show strangers in the middle of the night, but anyways, it's one of those situations, pitch black outside. It was in a slightly rural area. We're driving down this long, windy street with like all the trees and, and it's dark and kind of creepy. And then the key doesn't work exactly right. And then so I opened the door and it's like a really tall like foyer area, but like 2 stories high, and it's this huge mural of like, I don't know, an archangel with like a dagger or something, and I'm like, whoa. And it was like it would have been suspense, like it would have been interesting like during the day, and it still would have been like, wow, look at that mural. But I mean, the leading up to it with the dark and the windy road and the trees and the lock, and then we open it, and then they had some just weird like little antique items. It was like, it wasn't a well lit home. Like it was very creepy.
It's quite literally very shady.
Yeah, and then I can tell you something you don't see very often. But if we're talking about scary, as in like things that you don't want to see but aren't really creepy, is if on the rare occasion, very rare occasion, that some crazy person, no offense if anyone's listening, decided to put a basement in their house here. Okay. Because of our water levels, you really can't. You can't. But if someone does, despite, because they don't know, I guess that. I don't know why. I don't even know who would construct a basement here. Maybe someone can tell us in the chat, but if you're from Mississippi, but you cannot put a basement here. But every once in a while someone does. And if you go in there, it is like dark and wet, and it's like the concrete's all cracked and it's like moisture and moldy, and It's very nasty. Yeah, we
Yeah.
cannot do basements here. So every once in a while, there's a property you might could get like on a little bit of a hill, and I mean I call it hill. It's not really a hill, but like an ant hill. Built. Might could get like maybe like one of those like a little wine cellar or something that you could kind of like walk into, but it's the other parts below grade. You might could get away with something like that. I don't know if my husband's watching. Maybe he could drop in the chat if we could do something like that. But no basements here. So, but water intrusion all day long. And I don't know. I don't even know if there's a way to fix it. I literally think that I'm aware of, there may be like 5 houses on the whole Mississippi Gulf Coast that I'm aware of that have basements. So usually people know not to do that. So I envy people's basements though.
Yeah, it's I can imagine why it would be such an issue. And I also love that is a scary story, because it's true. Like there are sometimes we see a home and we're looking through the details for a client before we even step foot, and we're like, red flag. And those are scary in a way for us, because we're like, why would you have a basement here? That's so dangerous, or so much risk for issues popping up. Like that kind of stuff happens, and it's not fun to deal with when something goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, aside from that, lots of crazy, wallpapers and floor plans and I don't know, weird phones on walls and built-in furniture. I mean, just like a lot of just weird random stuff. But like I said, I just wish I had pictures of it all. But tell me what you got. Tell me about an interesting story that you've had.
Oh man. I've seen everything from I've seen panic rooms. I saw one in a house that had a panic room hidden behind the basically main living room's bookshelf. I've seen attics in some of the much older homes that have been transitioned into a panic room, which why you would put one in an attic, I don't know, but whatever. And I've seen a lot of stuff like that. I've also seen, so in a lot of our 1900-ish homes, 1900 to 1920s, we have homes that used to have unfinished attics. But over the years that people have renovated them a few dozen times, people have taken weird corners within those attics and created secret shelves or storage areas that always just feel really weird and out of place. And you could totally hide a skeleton in there. This is creepy. Don't want to go in. And I've also seen a toilet in a random closet before. Literally in a bedroom closet or a hallway closet, I've seen toilets. I'm like, what? Why? Isn't this where people hang their coats? But I think the weirdest one of all that I've seen, there was a house I walked into that was 1915 or something like that. And you can tell that it's been through numerous renovations. It's had add-ons, it's changed its rooms, but the overall of the main chunk of the house still looked like it was the same layout as it was built in the 1920s. But what was weird, one of the things that was weird about its layout, the weirdest thing is later, but one of the things about its layout is you'd have to walk through 4 different rooms in order to get to the living room. You would have to walk through the kitchen and the dining room and the sunroom in order to get to the living room, or you would have to walk through, and anyways, it was just weird. You had to walk through weird rooms to get to the others, which is always strange. But the weirdest thing about this house is its main staircase, first off, is tucked behind a hidden corner, which is a weird place to have a staircase, but whatever. And it was this large, almost winding staircase that goes down to the basement from the main floor. But when you're 3/4 of the way down, there's a door in the wall, and you're like, oh, okay. You open the door and you're immediately greeted by a tiny, tiny little nook that's been carved out of the wall that has a sink in it, literally no wider than I am, tiny sink. But you're where's the toilet? And you look around the corner and you see a staircase. And it's a winding staircase, but it's going like, if the winding for the main staircase goes like this one kind of went like this, like it wound a different way. And up this staircase, maybe like 10 steps, is a toilet. But it's so like weirdly placed there that there's nowhere for you to even put your feet except for the step below. So you almost have to like hop up onto the toilet to use it, and then your feet, and I'm 5'10", 5'11", like I'm not a small lady, and like my feet were dangling. I had nowhere to put them.
Oh
And like,
my gosh. Somebody was like, we're gonna add a bathroom. And they were like, where? And then we're like, I am. I was like, no, you can't. Like, that was like a hold my beer kind of scenario. Like, I'm gonna put a toilet in here.
for real. And it's you made a good point too. Like, if for anybody who's built a house or gut remade a house, you know that there's a lot of interesting wasted space in areas because there's not really a way to utilize the space. So they're like, that's probably exactly what happened there, is like, hey, we tore up this area. There's space. What do we do with it? I don't know. A bathroom? Ah, that's silly. Nah, hold my beer. We're gonna make this wasted space a bathroom. It's just,
Yeah.
why? What? How? Why?
Hey, maybe they had a bunch of kids like me and they were like, look, this is the last time all the bathrooms are gonna be occupied. We're making this happen.
Yep. That's actually another good point. I've seen a house where like they again turned a closet into a toilet, probably because like it looked like it was used as like an orphanage or something at some point, like within somebody's house, because there were like random toilets and random sinks throughout the entire house. And it was bizarre. Like they had their main bathroom, and then they had like a toilet in one of the bedroom closets and a toilet in another bedroom closet, and then a sink out in the hallway, in what I guess used to be a closet or a linen closet, or like a, I don't even know. It was interesting. Anyways, but that just reminded me of that.
Yeah, I actually like when there's like a sink outside of the bathroom area, because like you don't need to occupy a bathroom to use a sink. You know, wash your hands. And so that's pretty cool. It's another challenging thing about our job is we're always seeing all these cool ideas and like, you know, things and how creative that you can be if you really put your mind to it. And then we're like, hey, maybe we should renovate the house or buy another house or whatever. Like I can just,
For better or for worse, we're gonna put this in our house.
yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, so that's some of mine. There's definitely a lot of weird construction from renovations over the years in our area. But I love looking at the old homes more than the new homes because of that stuff. Like it's just fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have so many like things that come to mind, but I can't like put them, you know, into words. But yeah, maybe one day I can go through my pictures and make a album of crazy things. Because
that'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, next week we will be back and we will continue on our holiday theme here through the end of the month. So we will see you guys next week, same time, same place.
Awesome.